WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. A Union County house fire claims the life of a man and several of his pets.
Just after midnight last night, firefighters were called to a home on County Road 14. When they got there, the house was fully engulfed. After the flames were extinguished, a man and several dogs were found inside. Michael Clark lived next to the small house and said his sister owned the cabin. Clark saw the flames and rushed to help, but the fire had gotten out of control by then.
And when I got over there in front of it, the heat was just so intense. There was no way I could possibly go in there and help him. It would have been too late, though. By the time I got over there, it was engulfed in flames. It burnt down in just a few minutes. It wasn't very big.
There was electrical heat in the cabin, but Clark believes space heaters started the fire. Coroner Pam Bowman says the victim's body is being sent for an autopsy and positive identification.
A Columbus man is being held on a federal complaint of assaulting or impeding a federal employee. An affidavit filed in federal court says 47-year-old Bartholomew Hairston threatened to kill the workers at the Columbus VA clinic. Hairston reportedly went to the clinic Tuesday morning complaining of frostbite. Workers say he became agitated and made the threat. Staffers were able to convince him they were calling for another office to help. Instead, they called 911. Columbus police were able to detain him without incident. No one was injured. Hairston faces a federal detention hearing Tuesday. A man is accused of breaking into some Macon businesses and stealing from an ambulance. Macon officers arrested Jackson Tyler Hunter today following an early morning burglary of a Noxubee General Hospital ambulance. Officers were able to identify Hunter after cameras captured him and his vehicle at the scene. Investigators found multiple cash registers, narcotics, and tools on Hunter's possession. Police Chief Lucius Mason says this is not the only incident involving Hunter.
We made an arrest this morning. My officers responded to 3 separate burglaries of stores on Highway 45, and also of the ambulance service vehicle here in town. There were high-level narcotics taken from the ambulance service.
Hunter is charged with 3 counts of burglary of a commercial building and 1 count of auto burglary. MBN assisted in that investigation. No bond has been set.
An Aberdeen police officer is in jail charged with assaulting his girlfriend. Monroe County Sheriff Jim Cantrell says, Cecil Cantrell that is, says 27-year-old Drakeus Betts was arrested last night in Aberdeen. Cantrell confirms Betts was in uniform but was, quote, not in the scope of his duties. Cantrell says one of his deputies responded to the call in Aberdeen and arrested Betts on the scene. He's charged with simple assault. Betts is still in the Monroe County Jail. Aberdeen Police Chief Henry Randall says Betts worked with the department for a year and left, but has been back on the job there for about a week. Columbus police released new video from a convenience store robbery. Some of you may find this disturbing. The holdup happened at the Exxon at 12th and Main Streets back on January 23rd. A robber wearing a long sleeve pink shirt can be seen pushing someone over inside the store. Investigators say the man was armed with a handgun. The thief also wore black pants and black shoes. If you have any information on this armed robbery, call Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers.
An Oktibbeha County grand jury indicts a Starkville man on a charge of sexual battery. Court documents allege the victim was under the age of 14. James Bardwell Jr. was recently booked into the Oktibbeha County Jail. The 35-year-old is also charged with felon in possession of a weapon. Bardwell is scheduled to make another appearance in court in April, that is. In other news, a Starkville man is indicted on 3 sex crimes involving a child. Jaquan Owens is charged with 1 count of statutory rape and 2 counts of exploitation of a child. Owens was arrested by Starkville police this past November. SPD charged him with other offenses that changed once the case went to the grand jury. Time now to turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. He joins us with a wet first look at your forecast. Keith?
Joey, it is a wet Friday evening in Columbus. A live look right there with our Alpha Insurance camera. We've got temperatures in the 50s. We will be holding steady this evening for the most part. You can see these showers Columbus eastward and also back to the west to Starkville, Eupora, Winona. This is lifting from south to north. It's going to take about an hour or two to lift through your area, and then some scattered activity later on tonight. So this evening we're looking at some rain chances, fairly steady as I just mentioned. Tomorrow could be a soaker. More on your weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
Bitter cold in December and January is still costing electric customers. Almost everyone has seen an increase in their bill. Northern District Public Service Commissioner Brandon Presley talked with Ford County Electric Power Association about the spike this morning. Presley says many factors led to higher bills this time of year.
The Tennessee Valley Authority that provides electricity to all of North Mississippi during those weeks in which it was so cold, broke all-time records. From when Franklin Roosevelt created the TVA until then, it broke all records for demand of electricity because of how cold it was, which means you're using more electricity.
Now, while you can expect higher rates during extreme hot or cold conditions, with a little bit of planning, you can keep your bill affordable.
Our Victoria Bailey joins us live in the studio with more on controlling the sticker shock. Victoria?
We all know when the temperature drops, usually utility costs soar, and it's never fun opening that bill. But one local utility company is working around the clock to help residents cushion the blow.
Even when I'm secluded in one room, it's still no mercy on my light bill.
It was ridiculous. Our electric bill actually doubled.
That's the theme for most people around the Golden Triangle after Mother Nature sent out a vicious cold snap.
December, we saw an average of about 1,200 kWh used per residential customer a month, and in January, that almost doubled. We were up at about almost 2,000 kWh.
Jeree Bush is a Columbus resident.
When it gets around March or April, it may go down to like $90. The start of January, my bill was about $385. I live in a mobile home out towards the Air Force Base. I live alone by myself.
She says she does everything she can to cut her cost when winter rolls around.
I use towels sometimes, and I may line them up in front of the bottom of my doors. I may even sometimes put them in my window sills if I'm in my bedroom. You know, just try to get any kind of draft that may be coming in.
Joyce Snyder lives in a two-story home, and she says it can be a challenge staying warm at an affordable price.
Just turn your heater down, you know, it's like 72, 73, and turn on the fireplace. And I just don't use the upstairs heater at all.
Public Relations Representative John Turner says that's where Ford County Electric steps in.
Let us look through there. Let us explain your bill to you. Our folks in our call center and in my department are there to help you understand your energy use and your particular energy use.
Turner says though it's tough being hit with such a large unexpected bill, there are ways to combat it.
And with the new meters and things that we have out there, we bring back a lot of information as far as daily usage. We can set up alerts for you if you think, if you want to set a dollar amount, if you use more than like $10 a day, we can alert you via text or email and say, hey, you may want to look at this, even if you're not on one of these other programs.
Now, Turner goes on to say there are more payment plans available. For more information, visit WCBI.com. Guys?
Chronic absenteeism has become a problem for many school systems in Northeast Mississippi, but Winona has been able to keep it to one of the lowest percentages in the state. Hear their secret coming up.
Welcome back, everyone. If you have school-age children, you've probably heard the term chronic absenteeism. That's when a student misses more than 10% of their enrolled time. It's a problem in several school districts in our area, but Parker King finds one school system that's tackling the issue head-on. He joins us in the studio with more. Parker?
The Winona School District has the lowest percentage of absenteeism in our area and one of the lowest in the entire state. Their new approach isn't seen as strict or disciplinary per se. No, they're taking a page from a popular series of books.
While the magic from J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series can't be copied, the structure of the school can. One school in particular has turned their elementary school into their own Hogwarts.
All of our children are divided into 4 houses.
The goal is to fight student absenteeism, well, by making their kids want to come to school. The concept comes after Winona School District decided to give their teachers just a little more training.
A couple of years ago, our principals just discovered the Ron Clark Academy and wanted to take some of our teachers there and kind of see how that went. Well, they went and people came back changed. They came back changed educators. And so each school has kind of implemented the things that they've brought back. Each teacher in their classroom, they've implemented things that they've brought back from the Ron Clark Academy.
Their change has become the catalyst to change the culture of the school.
Each house competes for behavior and grades and attendance, and then at the end of the 9 weeks we have a big celebration for that house.
It made them be self-motivated to be at school and stay at school all day.
Points are given to the houses for each category, and having the most house points can result in rewards from pizza parties to not having to wear your uniform for the day. And in only the first year, the school has seen improvements in attendance.
We've had so much school spirit this year. I've been a teacher for 15 years, and this is the most school spirit I've ever seen.
The house system has been very instrumental in helping build camaraderie and teamwork in all things, in attendance and grades and behavior. With attendance, behavior, our discipline numbers have gone down, so yes, children want to be here and they're doing very well.
In Winona, Parker King, WCBI News.
Incentives like breaks and exam exemptions are also offered on the middle school and high school levels, but only if those students come to class. And with that, Winona sees attendance and participation rise every day.
6:13 right now, live look in Vernon, Alabama. The rain's coming on down. Some showers out there this evening, some heavy rain possible later tonight, and really for our weekend. Full forecast is next.
Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, friends, it is Friday evening. What a great Friday we have had. Although the clouds have been on the increase, you can see that with our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon. And now we have some rain showers out there. Here's a nice little picture from the Air Force Base from Candy showing the clouds coming on in, reflecting off the water right there. Go to our social media accounts there, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Stay connected with us. We'd love to see your pictures and your videos. All right, there are the showers in Columbus and Millport, Reform, Vernon, up towards Aberdeen, and it goes all the way back to West Point, Eupora. About done in Winona, but is lifting now up towards Bruce and Tupelo. So we have these showers that will continue to advance to the north as we go throughout the course of the evening hours. More rain back down to the southwest, so guess what? We will have more rain this weekend. There will be a bit of a lull here late this evening and during the overnight hours, just some scattered showers, but things will fill back in tomorrow. We've got a lot of 50s. Still holding down the 60 in Tupelo, but a lot of 50s here in the near term. And where we are right now is about where we will be all night long. So mid-50s for the most part, scattered showers, much warmer. Last night we got down into the upper 20s. We're done with that for a while. And here's our Saturday planner. We start out in the 50s, back into the 60s during the course of the day. 100% chance for showers and storms. And here's our zone forecast for Tupelo, about 64 degrees, winds from the south at 5 to 15, 63 up there towards Corinth. Farther south, we're looking at some mid-60s as well along US 82, perhaps a little bit warmer south of Louisville, around 64, 65. Columbus, West Point, Starkville, and 65, 66, 67 for you in Lamar County in West Alabama. So that's the way our Saturday is going to be. Now, the overall severe weather threat for Saturday, even Sunday too, is not zero, but the grand scheme of things, looks like the most unstable aero state just to our south-southeast. We'll watch it this weekend and reevaluate things. The big story here overall will be the chance for some flooding, with 1 to 3 inches of rain still expected across our viewing area and really across most of Mississippi and Alabama. It is going to be a soaker tomorrow and probably a pretty good chance for rain on Sunday too. We have a flood watch over there in Alabama, but we may see some flooding around here as well. So the rain we have this evening lifting back to the north. Notice how all of this fills in tomorrow morning, and that will continue during the better part of our Saturday, and we'll roll over those rain chances into Sunday too. Temperatures may fall Sunday afternoon. We'll be only in the 50s on Monday. A little bit drier though early next week. More heat though returns by Tuesday, and perhaps the 70s widespread by next Thursday.
All right, coming up, a look at sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Signing day rolled over into Friday as we continue putting pen to paper on dreams being realized, and we start with history being made up at East Union as Noah Ford signed on the dotted line to continue his football career at Coahoma Community College next season. Ford had 7 other college offers from different schools, but he became the first East Union football player in the school's 5-year history of having a football team to sign to play football at the next level. Ford almost even didn't stick with the football game, but he returned to the gridiron his junior year and is now reaping the rewards. Coahoma recruited Ford to come play center next season for them, and he's glad he gets to continue playing the game he loves.
It's a blessing. I started here 6 years ago in junior high, and the coaches told me that they think I have an opportunity to play at the next level because of my size and the way I was when I was younger. And they took the time to help me and develop and make me a better player, and I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to play at the next level.
It's big for our school and our community, the football program. We've only been in existence for 5 years, and it's steps that we've needed to take, and I'm just excited for him to be the first player.
Over in Selgin, Alabama, Hunter Matichek is heading to the Prairie State. He's signing to continue his football dreams at Lindenwood University. That's in Belleville, Illinois. One of the anchors of the offensive line, Matichek helped protect the blind side of a dynamic Blue Devil offense that had one of its best seasons in nearly a decade, went all the way to the semis in the 2A playoffs this past year. All the hard work paying off for the kid from small-town Selgin.
It's a dream come true. I've always wanted to be able to continue my career in football and continue to play above just the high school level, and this college has given me that opportunity.
They're definitely getting a leader on and off the field. He was one of those guys that is going to push everybody to do the best they can in the weight room and on the practice field and in the classroom. He's just one of those type guys.
Switching gears to hoops, and if you don't have a ticket to the next 2 home games for Mississippi State women's basketball, you're going to be out of luck. This Sunday versus Kentucky and next Sunday versus Texas A&M are sold out as Vic Schaefer's senior class winds down their career playing at Humphrey Coliseum. No surprise to the head coach that every Bulldog is trying to get into the hump to see the last few games with the winningest class in women's hoops history.
They just love these kids. They embrace them. Quite frankly, I think we would have done it whether we had that going or not, to be honest with you. I just think our fans are in love with this team. They're so much fun to watch, and anybody that was there last Monday night, they're probably wanting to do that again. For us, we've got to defend the home court. This senior class has a chance to go through the year and defending the home court, and I think this senior class is motivated. I think my team's motivated right now to continue one game at a time, and again, let's see where we are at the end of February.
And to baseball, hey, 1 week from tonight, we will be beginning the 2018 college baseball season. Mississippi State will be at Southern Miss. Ole Miss will be at home against Winthrop. And more than likely, you're going to see Connor Pilkington and Ryan Rollison take the hill for those first games on Friday. Both are named to the preseason Golden Spikes Award watch list. This award's given to the best amateur baseball player in the country. Jake Mangum of Mississippi State also on that 55-man list, along with Matt Wallner from Southern Miss. They play matches about everywhere for the Golden Eagles. Congratulations to those 4 making the list. Tonight, final night of high school basketball before we get into division tournament play. We'll have highlights of Corinth Tupelo for you coming up in 10. That's it for sports. We'll get a last look at your forecast next.
My father says, turn that thing off. My mother says, it's time to study.
I know that little girl. Cute Hannah. She's a third grader at Southside Elementary in West Point. And all those students turned their cafeteria into a poetry coffee house this morning. The students were in Erica Pate's class wrapping up their unit on poetry. They had a poetry slam. The students took the stage and recited original poems and work written by famous poets. Miss Pate says more than half the class wrote their own poems.
And there you go.
And I've actually done a little weather talk on that platform at Southside Elementary
Maybe some
School.
of those poems are like weather inspired. You never know.
Well, you never know. Right now, those poems would probably be filled with a bunch of words regarding